said.
Does that mean he can walk down Fifth
autonomy.
Avenue and shoot somebody?
Even you said, and then everyone's supposed to say January 6th. Well, let me explain something to the voters.
This
is the guy that has the
I said Joe Biden.
But that's what I'm saying. All you can do is you can't be better. You just want to compare.
I agree with you. He got the popular vote, Jeff.
That's great, but that doesn't mean he has a license
It's
to
who he
kill.
is. He's not going to change. It's who he is.
That's the problem. Because
Hello, everybody. Guys, let's get right into this panel. It's pretty unbelievable to me. These MAGA morons, they will not criticize Trump. They're really in a cult. Let's check this out and we'll talk about it.
Play one of these, the ex-Proud Boy, Enrique Tarrio, what he said after he was released.
I'm happy that the president's focusing not on retribution and focusing on success, but I will tell you that I'm not going to play by those rules. The people who did this, they need to feel the heat.
There's that. I've also seen...
Remember, Enrico Tarrio was a convicted felon before he went to trial in this case.
And I've also seen, literally, some of these defendants on social media posting the pictures of their jail guards and asking their followers to go after those individuals' names, photos, people who were doing their jobs presumptively. Not saying I know exactly what went on, but in most cases, people who, when they come out of prison, there's some kind of period of time where they're under supervision. Now their slates are wiped clean, and some of these people might actually be dangerous.
Well, Abby, there's no secret. I was actually on the campaign for a long time. And Donald J. Trump, our president, made it very clear that if he was to be elected, that he would pardon the J6ers. Now, I come from I'm from a lieutenant governor's office, just like Jeff. And the way I look at it, me personally, is that we worked in state capitals, and state capitals are protected. And for the life of me, I have no idea why the U.S. Capitol wasn't protected that day. We knew there was going to be a rally. People knew, the police departments knew. Why wasn't there enough? I was just in Washington the last couple of days, Abby. There's gates 10 feet high. Nobody could get close to. Why wasn't it at that time?
Okay, but what about the party?
This is, the way he tries to spin that, this is unbelievable. They will not criticize the guy. Like, these are the alpha males that they're always talking about. We're alphas, right? Cannot criticize them, and they bend and twist. Somehow it's Democrats' fault, I'm assuming. That Trump incited an insurrection, now pardoning these people that beat the crap out of cops, some of which committed suicide because of it. These guys are just garbage.
I mean, look, he told America, elect me, I'm going to pardon J6ers. His message was the economy and inflation, but he always talked here and there about J6 as well, Abby.
So you're fine with the pardons of these violent...
You know, I wish it would have done a little bit different, maybe, go on a case-by-case basis. That didn't happen.
He said, it's so interesting to me. I don't understand how hard it is to say violent criminals shouldn't be pardoned for trying to have an insurrection and stop the peaceful transfer of power. Can you say that? I'm just out of curiosity.
Look, I'm okay that these people, especially those that assaulted cops, actually faced some consequence. But I won't cede an inch of the moral high ground on that issue, specifically law enforcement, to anybody who represents the Democratic Party in general. Because this is a party, I mean, especially here where we are in New York. You could have saw all summer New York City police officers getting assaulted and beaten. You have Rikers Island where correction officers get stabbed, slashed, beaten every day. And the Democratic Party here in this state and nationwide doesn't say boo. We have a Soros prosecutor who won't prosecute these people. These January 6 guys that assaulted cops, they were in jail for 2 years, 3 years. That's fine with me. If you do the same thing here to a cop in this city, you're lucky you get 3 hours in the slammer.
California is the same way.
California is the exact same way. So this is, January 6th was not a great day for America. But to your point, it was litigated. Trump ran for office from day one saying he was going to do this. The American public had their chance to weigh in. He got elected, and he did it, and now we're going to have to move forward.
This is the argument they just keep saying. Well, he won. People voted for him. Well, he won. People didn't know that he was going to invite them to the White House either. And he said time and time that he was going to look into the people who committed violent acts that day. And instead, he said that it was too cumbersome. It was too much work to go through them one by one, 1,600 people. This is the party, conservatives out there. You're the party of of law and order, right? Fighting back against crime. You guys constantly bitch about and disgustingly lie and try to connect immigration with violent crime when they're committing crimes at lower rates than Americans. But all of a sudden, let these actual criminals, felons in some of them, out, right? I mean, you guys are clowns. You guys are in a cult. If you don't see this by now, conservatives, this is the Christian value that you guys are talking about. Where's the Christian values here? Please comment. Where's the Christian values in any of this garbage that you guys stand for?
10 Americans support the pardons. That's not a lot of Americans.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, it's
measure it in a vote, though.
John, what do you make of what he just said there?
Well, I think that the criminal justice reform laws that went into effect in places like New York and California did real damage to the criminal justice system. And a lot of recidivism is being excused by this new structure they put in. Still, getting back to the planet Earth, that's a marked difference from doing a mass pardon of people who were convicted after trials and guilty pleas of assaulting police officers and essentially trying to overthrow the government. It's not an apples to apples, and I get the whole pardon business. The Clinton administration, the Obama administration pardoned FALN bombers who were behind a reign of terror that left people dead in cities like New York and Chicago. And we've seen that with Leonard Peltier, you could argue.
Apples to apples, Joe Biden killed a cop killer.
But,
so
I guess my
pardoning a mass
why...
amount of people and just saying, I'm giving you a pass without considering the individual circumstances of those cases, as suggested, is a bit of a shock to the system.
I guess my question is...
And by the way, just to be clear, Joe Biden did not pardon Peltier. He commuted a sentence.
He commuted the sentence of 37 people on death row who committed some of the most heinous crimes.
Just for clarity, but go ahead.
If it's so bad, then why do you want to be like it? Like, you keep comparing yourselves to Democrats, then don't do
I think the punishment should fit the crime. If you were in jail for the past 3 years before you assaulted a cop, no complaints here. No, in New York, you wouldn't get 3 hours.
As a lifelong Republican, I am embarrassed, I'm repulsed by the 1,600 pardons, especially those that were felons and violent criminals. Let me just say this. Until Republicans start holding him accountable for his actions, and actually not just showing up for reality TV every night when they turn on the TV or open up their Twitter account and say it's not okay to beat police officers over the head with fire extinguishers. It's not okay to spray pepper spray on police officers. It's not okay to launch cryptocurrencies the day before you're sworn in for personal gain. Until Republicans step up to the plate and start holding him accountable, he's going to continue to wreck the car every single day, and this will be the longest 4 years in this country's history.
Are you talking about voters?
That guy is lifelong Republican, still is. When they say, can we reach the other aisle and work with people and talk with people? That's who we can work and talk with. Somebody who can point to obvious and not just a complete cultist. And you just can't point to obvious of how wrong something is. And the path that we're going is, it's not a good one. When you just cannot point to obvious, protect sexual abusers like Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump and 34 felonies and January 6th and just a constant Elon Musk with his Nazi salute. Oh, no, he's just eccentric. This is the problem. This is why you're called cultists. You guys defend anything these guys do. Your dear leaders, Donald Trump and his new wife, Elon Musk.
Jeff?
Certainly.
Because the voters voted for Donald J. Trump.
They did.
In all 7 states, swing states.
They did. And you know what? He has
does that mean he can? Does that mean he can?
Everybody said.
Does that mean he can walk down Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody?
Even you said, and then everyone's said January 6th. Well, let me explain something to the voters. He has done nothing for you to lower your cost of living. He has done nothing for you. You know what? He wants to invite people who were insurrectionists into the White House. Has he invited anyone who's struggling from a California fire or who has suffered from hurricane?
Ashley.
Joe Biden, but I get it. Joe Biden isn't the president anymore.
No, but
this is the guy that has the
key.
But that's what I'm saying. All you can do is you can't be better. You just want to compare.
I agree with you, Ashley. Here's the difference. The difference is that Joe Biden came out and said, I am not going to pardon Hunter Biden. He said, I'm not going to do it. Donald J. Trump was on the campaign trail saying, I'm going to pardon J6.
And I guess what I'm saying to you is when Joe Biden said, I'm not going to pardon, and then he did, I said that wasn't okay. And what I'm saying to you is when Donald Trump on the campaign and yesterday or whatever day he did it, pardon it, I would expect as an American who supports law enforcement to be able to say it's not okay. But that won't happen.
Let me tell you,
not a good day for America.
Abel, let me tell you what.
And this idiot, the bald idiot over there that keeps making an example, well, New York did this, well, Biden did this. This is his only excuse, is just to bring up something completely unrelated. We're talking about this issue right now. Why is this okay? Us on the left will criticize Biden or whoever it is doing anything wrong. That's the problem. You just guys will not criticize it. You guys stand on this law and order crap, this Christian values, family values. You guys don't give a F about any of those things. It's so clearly obvious that whatever Donnie says, you guys follow along like the zombies you are. There's just nothing there. You're not doing any thinking, no critical thinking. You're just following along. Whatever that side says, yes, yes. You listen to your MAGA pundits. You're not thinking for yourselves. Does any of this feel right to you? And if it does feel right to you, the things that Donald Trump has done and says, and Elon Musk and all these rich, super powerful assholes are just swirling around Trump. Does all of this feel right to you? And if it does, you need to again look at yourself in the mirror, have some introspection. Point out the obvious. And you won't be seen like such a nut.
Stuart Rhodes was on Capitol Hill running around today, but here's what the DOJ says he did and what he was convicted of. Organizing teams that were prepared and willing to use force to transport firearms and ammunition to Washington, recruiting members and affiliates, organizing trainings to teach and learn paramilitary combat tactics, bringing and contributing paramilitary gear, weapons, supplies, knives, baton, camouflage combat uniforms, tactical vests and plates, helmets, etc. He was a ringleader of an attempted insurrection. And he's now free to roam the very Capitol that he tried to overturn.
You know who has a real
that's
conundrum with
not
this?
that hard. You don't have to look deep into his file to figure that out. That's right there at the top.
You know who this is really confusing? Cops. Cops overwhelmingly went for Donald Trump. He's the only person who kind of gave unfettered, unqualified support to law enforcement, except for the FBI because they were investigating him. But a lot of them have been struggling with these pardons. And I've talked to a lot today who said, you know, I don't understand that, you know, they assaulted police officers. People died that day. How is this just a pass?
They planned an attack.
But who did the FBI's Agent Association come out today to bash? They didn't come out today to bash Donald J. Trump. They came out to bash Joseph Robinette Biden for commuting the sentence.
Well, the Fraternal Order of
My
Police
point is,
bashed these pardons
they
and
bashed both of them.
commutations.
They bashed both of them.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm saying, don't act as if law enforcement didn't bash the January 6th pardons.
I'm
They
not.
absolutely
But
did.
I will say this. Trump, from the beginning, said this is an action he was going to take. And we had 4 years of January 6th being the sort of flag that the Democratic Party waved. And at the end of those 4 years, as we approached the campaign, every police union in the country had the opportunity to make an endorsement. And every single one of them chose Donald Trump over Joe Biden. Every single one of them.
In the campaign, J.D. Vance said that Trump would not pardon violent criminals. Last week, J.D. Vance said Trump would not pardon the people who attacked law enforcement, but he did.
And look how fast he had to take that back.
And I'll repeat, until people hold him accountable, Republicans, conservatives, moderates, even folks that were on the other side of the aisle that voted for him, until they hold him accountable. This guy is like an addict to the spotlight, and he can't help himself. And so he lives one moment to one moment.
And he got the popular vote, Jeff.
That's great, but that
states,
doesn't mean he has a license
It's
to
who he
kill.
is. He's not going to change. It's who he is.
That's the problem,
But
because
you don't
where's the
have to
guardrails?
fall to his standard.
Let's put this in our terms. Let's say I've been a very, very big opponent of Donald Trump. I campaigned against him. I'm a lifelong Republican. And I'm going to say some things today that are probably going to make him upset or people that support him upset. So I walk out of here and somebody throws a sucker punch at me in the name of Donald Trump. If they get to him, does that mean they're going to get pardoned?
100%.
It's the same scenario.
It's actually a very fair question.
It's the same scenario. If you get to Donald Trump and you throw a sucker punch at somebody in the name of Donald Trump to protect his name or his image, Or his reputation? Does that mean he gets
In
pardoned too?
2016, I got a battery thrown at my head attending the inauguration, and I'm pretty sure the Washington, D.C. prosecutor actually, dismissed all of the prosecutions of people protesting against Trump's inauguration in 2016. So that actually happened.
You had a
And
battery.
guess what?
You had
a battery, yeah, a
And guess
battery
what?
thrown hit the person next to
That's
me.
not okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
But I guess
We
I'm just
can't
saying,
give
like,
examples without
nobody,
real-world instances of
right,
these
but
things.
nobody,
Last I
it's like,
Although that really
Joe
is
Biden
assault
didn't
and
pardon
battery.
that person
It is
either.
assault battery.
Assault and battery, literally.
Guys, I'm gonna leave it there. That dude has no arguments. Well, yeah, maybe if somebody punched you in the face in the name of Donald Trump, he'd pardon him. But I got hit with a battery, and the DC prosecutor. Again, this has nothing to do with each other. Trump is the most powerful man in the world now. Like, do you not understand this? And guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think this is conspiracy thinking. Trump only has one term. He didn't have to do this. Why did he do this? Why did he pardon all these people knowing that he was going to get backlash? I think he's trying to build a little following, a little crazy group of people that maybe he will try to stay again. I have no faith. There's no reason for me to believe that he's going to leave willingly. And then you have J.D. Vance that's going to be in the position that Mike Pence was. Do you think J.D. Vance has any type of honorable traits of him? You think that he has any type of bravery? I mean, the Conservative Party at this point are just full of just cowards, the weakest of the weakest. Weakest of the people. They cannot point to obvious. They're so weak and afraid of backlash. Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it's conspiracy thinking that he's trying to build almost like a little army. But I'll leave it there, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.